at Hamburg with like the support brewmaster.
Sure.
But I would have to go the Godz route and be like, yeah, I do like the Alliance draft, but I think VP are going to win. Now, I actually do overall still like VP's draft better. I think this looks a lot more like Game 1, where there were 3 lanes that didn't look like fun for the Broodmother. So, like, no matter where Quakefoot goes and no matter what he shows, like, he's going to do this double web mid thing again. And will he actually stick here? He's got the shared tangos this time, so perhaps he will. But this is one of those matchups that people look for, right? They want this Monkey King versus the Brood.
Right. What do you think about the Ursa? Feeling confident in that final pick from Alliance?
Well, we heard the conversation in terms of like who you want to be laned up against. There's no question that if you're the Ursa, you definitely want to be against the Mag. That would be a lot of fun. But that's pretty unlikely to happen. So you're going to be up against this Morphling and the Tiny. And you have a Wyvern, pretty good position 5. Just keep like bullying the lane. And Tiny is like kind of awkward with the Morph. It'll depend a lot on the first couple waves, see how many kills they get. But they're going to try and do the lane swap now because you can see that Tiger's playing really aggressively, so he's going to spot out the Magnus and the Dazzle, so they start sending the Ursa towards that Meg.
Yep. Empower on that Dazzle with the Poison Touch. Look at this damage, Trent.
This is the cost of swapping lanes, though, is that you lose 3 of the runes because no one's bottom now.
3 will go the way of Virtus.pro. Taiga the only one to pick up that bounty. So Mickey will head bottom with Insania now.
So
the Brood will stay mid.
Yeah, it's successfully swapped, though. So no TPs used. They're going to get the lanes they wanted for the side of Alliance, and to me that is worth giving up one of those runes. Aw, Script blew us a kiss. That was nice.
Oh, shout out to Script. Okay. Very curious to see how the Tiny Morphling lane will go. They definitely have some kill potential between these two. A fair bit of burst damage.
Yeah, Solo's going to cut through the trees up top here. Things getting a little bit dicey.
Oh.
Solo loves this Dazzle. He had some sick games recently, especially one in particular where he was like laning with a Terrorblade and just absolutely destroyed this Pugna Wyvern lane. So double melee heroes in here with the Poison Touch.
And the Shadow Wave. This is the Dazzle dream, dude.
Yeah, you know how this works, right? You
just
keep slapping on someone, you keep right-clicking them.
Down bottom, he's having a slightly different experience in this lane, getting completely zoned out by Insania.
HP?
Able to use that healing salve. That'll pick him back up. So close to a first blood, though, for the Wyvern.
Oh, and he can't quite cancel it until it takes so long that he already got so much HP back because he was at so much agi.
Still a victory, though, for Alliance in this lane. Very early salve usage. Back up top. Taiga and Solo trading blows. Solo unrelenting with the discount pipe staff, by the way.
And they've blocked off that small camp, which is really important, right? Because the last thing you want is to be having your Ursa in this lane where you can completely dominate and bully, and then they just pulled it under the tower. Look at this positioning from Pasha. He went so deep. He just ran past the wave, past the Ursa, and after all that, even with the slow.
That would have been a guaranteed first blood. That's such a heartbreaker, and all the while down bottom, Mickey is the one that actually secures that first blood against Ramses. So no salve to pick him up this time.
He's going to TP right down, too. They're not going to attempt any sort of swaps. They know that it'll just be met by Alliance.
Couple of missteps here from Virtus.pro to start things off. Let's check in on the mid lane. Brood versus Monkey King. As you mentioned, this is the dream for no one. 17-4 compared to the 6-0 Brood. Again, inflated by the Spiderlings, but definitely a good start for MK. Double Stout Shield to boot.
Yeah, it's almost like they're sacking Quake. I mean, that's what's going to happen if it's, you know, they kind of know this Broodmother is coming every game, even if it's not the first core that ends up being picked. It still means that you're probably going to have at least one bad matchup. But the side lanes, like, they took their time. They countered these other side lanes, and Alliance are getting the matchups they want. So despite the lead for the Monkey King, at least things are looking a lot better for your other two heroes. Not a massive lead so far, but I think it should continue to grow towards Alliance's way on the side lanes.
Dazzle maybe in some trouble up top. Solo has the heal. We'll go ahead and drop it onto the Magnus. Nice skewer onto Boxy. Dazzle trying to use that footwork to get out of here. Boxy taking a lot of damage, but I don't know that Dazzle's going to be able to survive this one. Great use of the Fairy Fire. They get the kill first, favoring Virtus.pro.
That was sick, all because of posture, that turns into actually giving them some benefit there instead of just a free kill on the Dazzle.
Bottom lane, Mickey taking a lot of damage. Gets caught by the Avalanche. That'll be a kill for Roger. Insania in the tree line. Arctic Burn will be finished off. He's trying to stay in the fog,
they have
but Roger
a toss here.
Wants to find him. Toss up in the air. Do they have the damage to finish this off? Ramses will certainly be able to do the job.
All right, well, so much for all that. Virtus.pro win. So many sick plays in these lanes. Oh, it's just like, yeah, these matchups look like they're going to be good, but the Ursa's not really getting that big bully effect on the Mags that you want. They're still just tradingly even in terms of the last hits.
Oh,
and again, another pushback.
Yeah, Solo very low, but it's going to go similar to last time. Taiga forced back, and he's got the poison. That's probably going to finish him off. One more tick, and he will fall. Boxy chasing down Pasha, though. No skewer available for 12. Trying to get up to the high ground, playing some ring around the Rosie, but I think Pasha going to be hard-pressed to survive this one unless Solo can keep his good friend alive. Just one more from Boxy, and he will find it. Double poison touch. Solo just trying to do as much damage as he can, though he does get clipped by the Thunderclap, and I think that will be the end of him. One more. Nope, Taiga won't be able to commit for it.
I mean, in the end, though, like, this guy's run all the way back, so it's not that great. Either that or he has to shrine himself in 30. Or he can take that regen rune that no one has no real need for, so bless.
Yeah, right now, no one is just free farming mid. Up top, skewer back onto Boxy under the tower. Pasha might be able to get a solo play here, or Alliance could potentially turn this one around. Ursa not able to survive as Pasha finishes him off with a stray shockwave.
At the very least, it is a Brewmaster who's getting a kill like that. It's one of the better scaling supports when you get like some early golden experience. But
all the while, there was a battle down in the bottom lane. Ramses almost found another kill onto Mickey.
Oh, they're going to get 3 of the bounty runes, too. Toggle back and get the 1 on the Radiant side. And again, that means they've gotten 6 of the 8 so far, 5 minutes in.
Is this going to be a kill onto Ramses? He's morphing a lot of strength here. They did have a Star Storm, but they see Roger inbound, and they're going to be forced to about face.
Yeah, there was a toss potential there, but they're too worried about Mickey following up onto the morph, it looks like.
Yeah, a scary position for Ramses to be in there. For the sake of Alliance, though, I am worried about how much farm this Monkey King is getting. He is just free farming away in the mid. Ramses taking a lot of damage down here. The Arctic Burn doing some work. They won't be able to finish him off, but they repel both Ramses and Roger. Now back up top.
I think one thing about No One over the past years, he's been one of the best mid laners in terms of converting that very early amount of golden farm into crazy amounts of aggression. Like no matter what hero he's on, I always go to like the Gyrocopters, that prime example of a hero where he just takes into like a whole other being by playing it in such an aggressive manner. So see if he can convert the same way on this Monkey King here. Because he's got some great partners for early kills. Like giving an Empower to himself, just early RP, pretty much easy guarantee. Roger with a very high burst damage support. Speaking of which, burst damage on the Mickey, the Avalanche will connect even with the leap. But he just barely gets out of range there.
Yep, just not going to be enough. A lot of aggression in this laning phase, though. 5-5 in kills. Very small advantage for Virtus.pro. Koikva just working the jungle right now. Off to a little bit of a slow start this game, though he does have a lot of CS. Not where the Brood wants to be in terms of net worth overall. Shrine going to get popped here by Alliance in the jungle. Sania and Mickey will get topped off. It's back up top. Mickey completely repelled. Solo and Pasha actually pretty deep here, cutting that tier 1 tower.
He almost gets the courier for it.
Rough stuff for the Ursa. Taiga rotating mid here. Not going to find the opening. Meanwhile, Solo just putting unrelenting pressure onto Boxy, resetting that poison. They get the first kill. Now Insania getting back to the tower. Wants to finish off Solo. Gets the heal. Will have a Grave TP if needed. There's the Grave. He's going to TP
They're running
home.
at No One mid here, too. He's forced to use the ulti.
Pasha almost finishes him off there.
So Taiga was in behind trying to grab the courier, but he doesn't end up getting it. The Radiant Courier's been like hiding over in the bottom trees for a long time. What's going on there? But they'll find its way home now, too.
Looks like no kills will come out mid here. No one trying to hunt down Koikva, but a little bit too elusive.
Oh, Ramses dives in bot. It's clapped up, though.
A lot of damage coming his way, but he's got a morph. Turns into the Mirana. Couple stick charges. Should be okay.
Oh, no, he's got so much gold on these Spiderlings. Gets a Boundless Strike onto a bunch of them. It's very hard to keep your spiders away. It's like Tiny and Monkey King are 2 of the worst ones, because you can just like target one of the Spiderlings and throw a tree at it, and that does a ton of damage. Or you can just do the Boundless Strike from so far away. Boxy finds Solo walking up the ramp up top, but Pasha comes over to help.
I wonder if they can turn this the other way. Solo with the level 2 poison. Skewer back. Boxy taking a lot of damage and will get finished off by the Dazzle. Not much Insania could do there to keep his friend alive. He did have a cold embrace.
He gets the cut, though, onto the tree as No One comes through. Him falling down from the Arctic Burn might have saved his life here, but No One's coming to assist.
Yep. And there's that cold embrace. No One just going to hang out. Moonlight Shadow will not be enough to save the Wyvern. Virtus.pro finding the advantage now, 8-6. 2K net worth is their favor. Down bottom, Ramses taking some damage. But he'll be able to make it back just fine. Alliance having trouble actually securing these kills, so they have to put a lot of pressure on.
Roger's in here again, looking for that courier. Can't quite get there, though.
Pasha's had a great laning stage on this Magnus, though. Bottle queued up, level 6.
Yeah, in terms of his net worth, he's one of the higher ones on his team, at least second overall. Ramsey's falling a little bit behind there, but...
Oh, wow, look at all those spiders.
They're
no one
so low.
Not able to finish him off.
If only he was empowered. Life would be so good.
If only, if only.
At this point, kind of waiting on the level 6 for the Brewmaster. Curious what they're going to try and get. Like, I think you just want to hunt the Monkey King. Seems like the ideal target. Killing the Morph again and just like constantly slowing him down wouldn't be too bad either, but...
They're definitely the top 2 targets. They've been keeping Ramses down, but he's not crippled by any stretch, and certainly in a state where he can recover.
Whew. That was a bold arrow. We'll miss onto Ramses. Got like max range here. And he's still just hanging around for this bounty room fight. At the same time, it looks like insane. Whoop! I'm not sure what no one was going for. He was trying to find the secondary hero there, so see if it helps secure the kill on the Boxy. That was nice.
And they'll grab it. Jeez. Very nice.
No, on the next level play there. Slapping on that boundless strike. The thing was a old one.
Now, bounties will end up going 2 apiece. In theory, at least, VP should be able to grab that last remaining bounty. Instead, they're focused on kills. No one's got a Jingu Mastery. Spring down. Mickey able to leap into the trees. Still has a couple charges, and they're not going to commit anymore.
So this is starting to look a little bit like last game, his solo. I mean, last time he was Silencer and just getting run down like this, but Koikva giving him the pain under the tower, and whoops!
No grave there. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, couldn't... I think he was like trying to wait for the TP and also trying to like min-max his attention he's taking away from Koikva, but Koikva is going to get back, probably kill this camp, and find the stack at 11, or at least the new one. So a very rich boy here, as long as these creeps get out of the way.
Yeah, Koikva having a pretty good setup. He's number 1 on his team, still behind the Monkey King, but...
Oh, that damage, though. There it was. Nice spiders. 700 gold lead right now.
No one going for the Echo Saber on Monkey King. Glad to see he's not going Battle Fury.
Yeah, I would hope not with Empower.
Yeah.
It might be a little questionable.
That's definitely true.
Moonlight Shadow has been used up top, so Patch is playing very cautiously. There's no curse, though, for the Wyvern, so it's not too big of a deal. We still haven't used this split. And no one going to help scout out Taiga here. Might be able to force a bad split here.
Well, he does have the Brood nearby. A lot of damage on this Tier 1 tower, now down below 50% HP. Boundless Strike. There's no follow-up to actually shut down this Brood. Now back up top, Ramses trying to farm in the safe lane. He does have Pasha nearby. There is an RP available. Going to be hard to use here. Skewers in, pump fakes the RP, does not use it.
He can stay so low on HP this game, though, because there's not really a big threat in terms of like instant burst. Yeah, pretty much a Splinter Blast is like the best one at the moment.
Pasha with the RP onto the Brewmaster. Arrow does connect, and that's going to be the end of the Magnus, it looks like. Ramses uses the Morph onto Mickey again, but solo on the back line.
Yeah, this is fine to help protect and still chase after Ramses.
Nice grave, although he's not going to have a TP. I think Solo is going to be done for here as he gets stunned up by the boulder under the tower. And
Ramsey's still being scouted out here, but don't think it's going to be enough. It'll just end up helping to secure some more damage onto the tower for the team. Mid lane, though, no one.
And
actually,
down bottom, yeah, Foxy got killed by no one. And now this Tier 1 mid is likely to go down. TP in from Magnus, so maybe he can delay things, but that is the glyph from BP.
Yeah, Roger to TP out just from the pressure of Koikva.
Koikva's doing a really good job bringing it focus into this mid lane and still doing a lot of damage to the tower in the meanwhile.
A lot of really small skirmishes this game. Feels like it's only ever been like 2 or 3 heroes at one spot. That top fight was like the biggest clash that we've really had.
Yeah.
And Koikva just still able to play so aggressively here.
You can tell VP just want to shut down this Broodmother, but Koikva's abusing this cliff area here so effectively.
Yeah, that is the life.
This is the spot, you know. 5 heroes of VP now grouped up around the mid lane. Pretty solid first brew split there for Alliance as well.
I think there's a question as to what's going to happen before Boxy is an item. Because Boxy's really far behind on this Ursa. And like maybe the ultimates from the Brewmaster can help out in this little bit of an area where the Ursa has to farm some, but I think VP feel comfortable playing aggressively now.
Yep, now the initiation into Alliance territory. Insania getting relatively low. He falls first, and now they're trying to finish off Taiga. Moonlight Shadows come out. detection already been used. The Brewmaster will be scouted and finished off. Double kill for no one. Back to the other side. Koikba trying to finish off Solo perhaps, and they'll grab it.
It almost worked.
Primal Spring, they want to chase down Koikba. Relatively low on mana here, but will be able to get off another set of webs. No one jumps up top, finds him. Is he going to be able to find this kill on Koikba? It's close, but no lockdown. This elusive Arachnid is just too much, and now no one's going to have to deal with the Winter Wyvern. Up top, Avalanche off the mark onto Mickey.
They're still closing in here. They have RP. I mean, they didn't spend too much mid.
Insania could be in some trouble. Has to use a defensive Winter's Curse. Doesn't connect with anybody else. Does set up for the arrow. Splinter Blast doing some additional damage. Courier flies in.
They might toss RP here. This looks really tempting.
I'm pretty with you on that. I'd be a little scared if I were Alliance right now in this position. Taiga does have the split, but they're going to jump onto the Winter Wyvern again.
Oh, he gets it for the Avalanche.
Well played by Insania. Sets up with the Cold Embrace, but there's the RP into Wukong's command. One down, make it two for Alliance. They get the kill onto Solo. The Brew Split's been used. He wants to try to finish off no one. It's going to be close. He's got a lot of damage, but they actually kill Taiga through the split.
And now they're after Koikba.
Left alone, tossed forward from Ramses. He's going to turn into the bug, and now Koikba cannot get away from this. Or can he?
Yeah. After him.
Well, the bug lives, but still pretty disastrous for Alliance. A 1-for-3 trade, losing 2 of their cores there. Or 1 core, 2 supports, rather.
Yeah, I do really like this whole punish time, because again, it's just boxy. Trying to farm up in that bottom lane.
Blink Dagger queued up, 1,600 gold. Pretty underwhelming for the Ursa, though.
Yeah, great RP there from Pasha, too, and that like gives him the Blink Dagger gold if he so chooses it. And yeah, that'll be his choice. So, gonna wait for the RP before they probably get a kill. I mean, they can go for like a Blink Skewer play. Mickey runs into him.
Try this Mirana. Yeah, they're gonna skewer him back.
Look at Roger just waiting.
Yep, Avalanche didn't quite do the trick, though. Do they have the damage? No more leaps, and no one will be able to finish off Mickey. Back towards the mid now. Koikba trying to finish off this tower. Ramses there to defend.
These games, when you're playing this Morphling and you're not getting an Invoker Sunstrike or something, are so good. Like, he's just constantly at max agi, so he can farm so fast. No threats that he needs to worry about this invisible damage or something.
Insania in a little bit of a dangerous position here in the trees. Hard for them to find him.
That is for sure.
But kind of stuck there a little bit.
Stuck or lurking, waiting, biding his time.
Could go either way, but in the mid, they want this Koikba. Can they bring him down? Big damage, but not enough.
What's this fight? So close. Ha!
Moonlight
All
Shadow.
Of this time.
Oh, hello there. I don't know if that was the ending he was hoping for,
It wasn't
though.
lurking.
Yeah, the chapter of that, or the first page of that chapter was pretty enticing, but it ended on a very dark note.
Boxy's now mid. And they're going to get a big weave onto all of them, though. Soul pops a smoke, even.
Pasha up top, Blink Dagger ready, has the RP, might not be able to find the opening, misses the skewer onto Koikba. There's the glyph now from Alliance, and VP not even going to push the issue. We'll just be happy to go back to farming.
And
4K net worth now.
Pressuring the tier 1 bottom, too.
Yeah, a lot of space for this Morphling. Ramses has really recovered nicely, now number 3 on net worth overall, behind only the Brood and the Monkey King.
Has a Yasha now, too.
Yep. I think you're definitely right about this situation for the Morphling. Just feels like an easier scenario than the average game.
Just does so much damage. Just running around like 200 damage right now.
Giving Ramses a lot of confidence. Glyph used. Alliance trying to finish off this mid tower. Looks like they'll trade tier 1 for tier 1 as VP finish off the bottom. Pasha skewers away as Boxy tries to initiate with that Blink Dagger.
Oh man, that Ursa is just, it's so lackluster before the Basher.
Yeah.
Like, you spend all this time getting the Blink Dagger on Boxy and he joins this fight and that's what happens.
You kidding me?
That's so underwhelming.
Yeah.
But they really want to fight here. They're just going to keep pressuring and pushing. They want to use this Brew Split. And they want to say, hey, Virtus.pro, we know that you're not really quite ready to fight.
Yeah. No Moonlight Shadow, no Insatiable Hunger. VP positioning like they could wrap around from the Alliance jungle. Roger and Ramses in a very aggressive position. Arrow flies through, hits one of the Ancients, and now Roger might actually get left behind here.
He still has Ava and the Shadow.
Nice sidestep from Koikba, though. Nice grave from Solo, but he will die for it.
Team's
Roger
here.
not going to be able to survive. Ooh, nice Winter's Curse onto no one after the Wukongs come out. Can Virtus.pro actually clean this up? It looks like a pretty bad fight as Alliance are just laying the damage into no one. RP slows down the damage from Mickey, but Cold Embrace is there. Monkey King gets brought down by the Brew Split. It's a 3-0 in favor of Alliance. Ramsey's able to waveform away. He should be good. Pasha on the run, but Koikva in hot pursuit.
In one.
Does Pasha have a TP? No. Absolutely no way to survive here. Maybe hoping for an Ancient Deny, but not going to be so lucky. And the Koikster going to pick up a dominating.
That was a really rough start to that fight for Virtus.pro. They kind of go in trying to save Roger. I can see why it kind of looked like there was turnaround potential because you're thinking, okay, we have RP. Like, if someone's diving on one of your heroes, having RP is one of the best tools you can get. So this whole fight starts because there is a ward in the area there from the side of Alliance. So they try and throw a random arrow. It doesn't quite connect, but Solo comes like, okay, it's like that first hero, right? It's like, okay, I can grave him. It's like, okay, I'm coming with the RP. Like, just wait, and then we're going to Wukong's command them, and I'm going to be empowered. It's going to be so much damage. Skewer comes in, no instant RP. Great counter initiation from Insania with the winner's curse, and then suddenly the whole thing falls apart. Like, he comes up, he RPs Mirana, but the split from Taiga, he waited so long before using it, and they just completely changed on no one. So all he can do is throw a like pointless boundless strike.
Speaking of Taiga, he's going to get caught up top, and this time you won't have a Brew Split for the save. It's going to delay that Blink Dagger even further. Also secure some bounty runes for VP, it looks like. Doxy and Ramses going blow for blow. The Ursa going to win that duel. Although the bounty rune was picked up by Ramses. So VP relatively happy with that one. 3 for 1 yet again.
Foxy, think about the eggs and stuff. Okay, good.
He
had eggs queued up for a while. I was like, that's not the item. Basher is this definitely the choice.
Definitely with you on that one.
Although it can be a little frustrating. We had an Ursa game yesterday where it just kept blinking in. Like he needed like 2 bashes and they win that game. But he just got no bashes and they just lose. And it's like, maybe this hero's not that great.
It's almost like he doesn't actually have a stun.
It's wonderful.
Very small lead for Virtus.pro right now. Feels like a much tighter game compared to the first 2 we saw in this series. Has yet to really erupt with significant momentum one way or the other.
There is a kind of another big ultimate aspect of Virtus.pro's lineup, much like last game, where they had to play around the meta and everything. They have to play around this RP and kind of the Wukong's command too. Like, it feels it's going to be pretty important in these team fights. So that gives me worry if Alliance can secure the Roche, because it could just look a lot like last game, where they put the Aegis on this Broodmother, you put him up front, and can you really burst that Aegis down without wasting anything? There's going to be a lot of pressure on the Ramses, but he feels the need of going in towards this Lincoln Sphere.
I was just going to ask you about that. We were talking yesterday about how Morphlings really don't like to buy Lincolns that much anymore if they can get away with it. Why does he need it this game?
I think he's considering just the Brewmaster's pretty obnoxious. It's like constantly either spinning you up in the air or throwing these stuns on you, so that's one good reason. But other than that, it's not crazy good. Obviously, it doesn't do anything against an Ursa, who's you're probably the prime target for this Ursa.
Once he gets Abyssal, it'll block the Abyssal
That's
blade.
definitely the big one, yes.
Yeah, but not a lot of single targets. I guess like Winter's Curse.
Yeah.
Spawn Spiderlings. Interesting choice, though. Roger, he's going to get caught by Boxy. Moonlight Shadow's already been deployed. Koikva going to join the party. And old Raj going to get brought down. Not much he could do there. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, though, hey, it's Solo. That's a split push and dazzle.
He's not
caught
Solo.
by an arrow.
He saves the catapult. See, he took that arrow, so his catapult will get more hits.
Let's see, 1, 2 extra hits from the catapult.
That's a worth. And the courier dies. I believe Taiga just sniped it.
The Dire Courier.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a bit of a heartbreaker.
Good old Blink Dagger, and there we go. Ursa and Broodmother, pretty hard not to get Roche. To try hard to not have this happen, so.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Right now with 2 dead, it's going to be hard for Virtus.pro to contest
trying to use this vision that was left behind here, looks like by Solo.
Ooh, RP onto Mickey, right into Ramses, and that's a dead pop.
Oh, Roger. Oh, he's just a little bit too late. He actually headed in towards the pit there, but now he's just dead.
Yeah.
Virtus.pro.
It's going to cost him. Insania also flying in. So 1 for 1 in terms of kills, but Alliance get the Roche, they get the Aegis, and it will be secured on the Ursa right now. Good stuff for Alliance, leveling out that small gold gap we were just talking about. Also, BKB out on Koikva.
I guess, so there's, it depends. I feel like if you put the Aegis on the Broodmother, it puts you into a better point of sieging towers. But if you put the Aegis on this Ursa, it allows Boxy to try and use this Basher and really go for some kills and try and set off some good team fights for you.
Yeah. I like it on the Ursa here. He's really struggled to get that momentum this game. He's been in recovery mode. This is an item that can actually allow him to have a presence now in the mid-game. Lincoln's is just about up on the Morphling. No courier, so it won't be delivered here for another minute and a half, but he's got the pieces.
Yeah, it's definitely Solo's job. You know, you're playing these position 5s, you got to start being the courier. What else are you doing?
He's trying to get his Glimmer Cape. He's still working on that Shadow Amulet.
Oh, we'll get some spiders.
That's pretty nice.
Does he has a smoke, and he's chilling with Ramses, or rather Rogers and Pasha, so.
They've got RP and 5, also 4 staff on the Magnus now, so.
Moonlight Shadow used here by the Radiant, maybe thinking that someone's in the area, but not going to find anything. Radiant Vision on that Invis rune, so they'll be aware if Virtus.pro try and make something happen with it.
Yeah, a little surprised by that Moonlight Shadow. They had a scan coming up in just a couple of seconds. Oh, probably could have just waited for that if they thought there was somebody lurking nearby. Things slowing down a little bit here, though. 25-minute mark, just about to turn.
I think Pasha's my game winner here for Virtus.pro if they can do it. Like, he's gone for the RP build. He's got the Blink and the Force Staff. So he's trying to ensure that what happened in the last fight doesn't occur again. He wants that perfect positioning. He wants a 2-hero RP.
Yeah.
But likewise, Insania can be the one that he already foiled that last attempt. He can definitely be the guy to turn around those kind of engagements.
Here it is. Smoke movement from
Aegis
BP.
fight. They're coming in aggressively.
They're going to use a defensive weave here. Pasha skewers forward. RP pump fake, still has it. They get the bounty rune, but Taiga jumps in. There's the split. Now Ramses will finish off Insania. Wukong's command, not enough to save Roger, but pretty big damage here. 1-for-1 so far, trying to finish off the Broodmother. They force out a defensive BKB. And it seems that'll be the end of the fight, or will it? On the back line, it's Boxy that catches Ramses.
Bash.
And just like that, it swings in favor of Alliance, and they're going to hunt for more. No one now slowed down, jumped upon, and on the other side, Mickey taking a lot of damage. But I think they'll be able to turn onto Pasha here. Buyback from Ramses. VP want to turn this one around, and now Koikva, he's going to get brought down. Boxy in too deep. That'll be the Aegis. A great buyback from Ramses. Now our Alliance going to try to fight around this, or will they just let Boxy go? Arrow flies
nice
in.
grave.
Monkey King gets graved, but it'll cost Pasha his life. Great reinitiation from Taiga, but Ramses will finish off that wicked 6 streak from Boxy.
Mickey's trying to go for the kill, but there's all kinds of detection here.
Oh no, sentry wards are down. Another sentry comes out. Moonlight Shadow's about to expire, and he will fall. Triple kill for the bought back Ramses.
Oh, that fight started out so well for Alliance. Ramses, he went to the Build-A-Bear workshop, used the morph, but
5,800 damage done by Ramses there.
It's like, you're an Ursa without a bash, though. So he tries chasing after this Mirana. He can't get the kill, ends up dying, and it's like, oh my god, Alliance, like, they're really doing it here. But that buyback into so many kills made it 100% worth it. They really needed Ramses to try and like finish off some of that damage there. And even though it meant they lost Pasha in the end, of course, things are well worth it. Insania now being targeted down here by no one. The Cold Embrace, pretty good.
They'll buy him a couple of seconds, but I'm pretty sure that Jingu Mastery will be all right. BKB up on the Monkey King, saw it debuted in that fight. That was the 10-second charge. You can see how important the BKB is for Koikva this game.
And this
as
is
soon as he
where-
reinitiated without it, it was just all over.
So Ramses was chasing the Mirana, gets put into that like weird spot on the high ground when he was morphing from the Ursa and then back to morph, instantly bashed, goes down quickly. But that buyback when he comes back into this fight, Koikva just a little bit. They kind of get spread out, right? Like they're not focusing the same targets. Pasha's being chased by the Mirana, and then Ramses just re-enters, kills Koikva, gets on the boxy with the Aegis, and then there's a nice grave from Solo. He chooses who he likes more. Clearly, it's no one because Pasha does not get the grave.
Yeah. Well, Pasha also wasn't stunned either, though. So Pasha did have an opportunity to just back up and run away there. So definitely can't fault Solo for that one. Still a great
I see
fight.
where his alliances lie.
Fight for Virtus.pro, though. I think one of the issues, too, is that Mickey really committed for trying to finish off that Magnus, and obviously Pasha was able to get away with the Skewer, Force Staff, so much mobility.
And then he came back and tried again to try and kill the Monkey.
Yeah.
And eventually goes down. He got like 2 opportunities where he could have bailed out of there.
Now the Vlad's picked up by the Brewmaster. Aura-based build here.
I think that's why this hero just makes sense to support, honestly, because all his items suck anyway. Like, seriously, Blink's like the only good item on this hero, and everything else is just kind of like mediocre, especially for how expensive it is.
Eon Disc, okay,
like that item's fine, and it's like, yeah, Radiance is cool if you can somehow get there as a core, but even a core brew has a hard time with Radiance, so it's just like, I just get a Blink and a Vlad.
Is there any merit to the old Ags Brewmaster?
Yeah, no, Ags is totally legit.
Going for the Primal Split build? I know the
just,
talents are pretty good for it.
In the end, a lot of the items just suck. That's what it comes down to, right? The Ags is sick later on when you've got all these splits all the time, but the hero's just so ultimate-based that your whole point is you just have a Blink, clap, and then ulti, and then half the items in the game are just useless when you're in ult form.
That's a fair point. It's also a little risky because there's that point where the ultimate, it kind of falls off and then it comes back once he hits level 25. You know, but there's that weird window where it feels like you can kind of just focus down the Broodlings, especially if you have minus armor.
It's a lot better than it used to be, that's for sure.
They buffed the armor a while ago, I think, but there was a point where minus armor strats just straight up, oh, he popped his split, just kill him.
Yeah.
Not fun for the Brewmaster. Dazzle has picked up his Glimmer Cape, though. Great item on this hero. Gives him so much survivability.
That last fight came right around the bounty time. Now we're only 1 minute away from them once more here, as Alliance will posture themselves aggressively. Number of heroes up here. A couple of dire heroes here, too, as no one shows on the wave. Insania, again, no real mobility. I'm trying to chase. That arrow actually connects into him on the tree. They can't cut it, though, so they can't get the kill.
Yeah, small degree of luck, but unfortunately for Alliance, VP had a lot of reinforcements. RP on 2. They try to initiate onto Pasha, but he sets it up. Primal Spring, Boundless Strike. Taiga gets brought down first, and now this Ursa is disarmed. He's got nowhere to go. The ultimate's on, but it's not going to matter too much. Nice Winter's Curse. A lot of damage coming into the Monkey King. He will get hit by an arrow, but there's just no follow-up. VP will keep their MK alive. Ursa does live. Roger looking for a pick on the back line. Mickey leaps over the trees. There's an avalanche.
Oh, he misses.
No one jumping back in onto Insania, and they're going to try to finish off this bottom. Even though the Cold Embrace bought her a couple of seconds, she will still go down, and it's a great fight for VP.
Roger?
3-0.
He just finds Boxy, but he gets bashed up. Roger.
Oh, no. Raj. He sets it up for no one, though. Was that worth it?
Yes. If you're going to just lose Roger purely for the Ursa, that's totally fine.
All right. Well, some more momentum for VP. It's going to be a 1,500 net worth swing. Or 1,800, rather. 18, yeah. That was some NA math right there.
You've reclaimed the title. Congratulations.
Yep. Oh.
I'd like to be excluded from that. Thank you. I'd like USA math, please.
I like that. I could get behind that.
Thank you.
I believe in the Canadian education system. Offensive to Canadians everywhere.
Together, we have been lumped for too long.
Maybe you guys should just separate from the continent.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm in. Scotty up on Morphling. Huge item for Ramses. Man, he's big. Now, what's Monkey King up to? The Halberd you mentioned, he's going to have a Scotty as well.
That was like perfectly timed too on that Ursa. He had no idea. Box, he's just like, oh shit, my fight is over. In there, BKB doing nothing.
Yeah, pretty effective hard counter there against an Ursa.
It kind of like slows down your progression a little bit on the Monkey King. Unless you, like if you don't win that fight because of that item, it's a little bit of a weird item because it doesn't like speed up your farming really at all.
In this game, I think the evasion is pretty valuable.
No, it's totally legit this game.
Very good against Mirana, Brood. It's huge damage mitigation.
Yeah. Oh, it's not bad. I think this game just like, that was our Bannerine instance and now we just look for the Roche, but they're coming back up here. Oh, no one. Pops the smoke and gets out. Pasha? Oh, he clearly did not see them.
Moonlight Shadow.
What is happening?
Maybe the Moonlit shadowed right before. Solo, he's going to be TPing out. Now Magnus, caught by an Orchid.
What a strange series of events there.
Very awkward indeed. Orchid is up on the Broodmother, and that's going to be a Bloodthorn up next. So Koikva doing a lot of damage.
Unfortunately for Alliance, this Roche is very delayed. Won't be
Minute 15.
Yeah, so they're going to have everything back up on the side of Virtus.pro. And that's one of those moments where this game just could have been like brought completely back to even if they all just get that Aegis and cheese right there. Won't be so lucky though. I think at this point in the game, I mean the Broodmother's definitely lost a little bit of steam. Koikva having a hard time getting into these engagements and really having an impact. He's just kind of like stuck in the trees. That Orchid really helped for that pickoff, sure.
Yeah.
And maybe he can find some more moments, but he's Orchid into the Lincoln Sphere, makes it a little bit tough. The BKB. The Monkey King, and he's going to go Lotus next on the Magnus, although he's a ways away, so not a massive concern.
And even though the Broodmother has kind of stalled, her farm is still pretty far ahead of her supporting cores.
Yeah.
Which is even scarier, I think. Mirana is pretty underfarmed right now. Mjolnir, Dragonlance, nowhere near a BKB with a Blink Dagger queued up next, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. That seems a little odd.
Certainly is atypical.
He's going for it. He just sees it as, I guess he's going to try and make use of his Brewmaster. He's basically just going full confidence in his teammates and saying that my goal is to not be targeted. I'm just going to, like, it kind of makes sense, right? Because the Ursa jumps in and takes so much of the attention from Virtus.pro that it's going to be hard to actually focus Mirana. So it's just going full of damage to follow up with that blink of the Ursa. Ramses, they need that bash.
They've got a Sentry Ward down. Virtus.pro know they're coming.
That is painful.
Yeah, Yeah.
Sentries once again saving the day here. And this is a Dazzle without a GPM talent, and they're still spamming these things everywhere.
With a Glimmer Cape, no less. Very important against the Mirana, though. Good vision for Virtus.pro in general right now. A lot of good wards down, covering both enemy jungles.
Now they're going to go in there.
Got a question here.
How come Morphlings don't go shotgun build anymore? I mean, that's a fair question. It definitely still happens. It used to be, it had to be every game, but now you can kind of look at your opponents and be like, oh, okay, wait, like there's 3 cores that I can squish down with a E-Blade, then I'm doing it. But the hero just scales better now, and like Morph is just so sick.
Yeah, I think also the change to the ultimate was a big factor, though. We'll hold that thought. Pasha initiated on again. He does get Shallow Grave, might still be able to get off an RP. Disarm onto the Ursa, Boundless Strike across the way. Alliance are taking a lot of damage. They trade Boxy for Pasha, and now Ramses is committing deep. He's used the Morph, the very spell we were talking about.
And the arrow
connects onto Insania. It'll be a 3-for-2. The Brew split is just about to end. Koikba
the silence
jumps in. They might be able to finish off Ramses. It's going to be enough damage.
What?
That's the Aegis. But now Taiga has no options. He'll get finished off.
He got ditched so hard.
And Koikva, he might even get caught here as well. BKB forced out as Roger predicts the movement. That's a 9-second BKB used purely defensively. But it does keep the gem in tow, so absolutely worth it.
Virtus.pro just taking away that Roche, though. It felt like the last big hope for Alliance at this point in the game.
Yeah, things really
Even then, I don't
snowball.
know if it would do enough, honestly.
Yeah. One last note on the Morphling, though. I think it's also that the carry pool is so low right now that you sort of need to play Morphling as an actual carry. You can't afford to play him like the shotgun one-and-done sort of build. Not that he can't carry with that build, but it's a very different
This
style.
hero has changed a lot. Yeah. Like the whole morphing with no mana is so sick. It lets you farm way more efficiently, and you can still like have defensive options by shifting back to strength and stuff. Like his laning strats are just way better.
Yep.
He's a cool dude. I like Morph. I'm not bored of him. I am down for Morph games. You know, screw TB and PL, but please don't destroy Morph. This hero's fun.
Always an exciting hero to watch. I absolutely detest playing against good Morphlings, but that's just because the hero has such a high skill cap.
Well, it's so annoying because like, he's just better you. You know what I mean? Like he's a better Mirana, right?
Exactly.
He's got like better items. He's farming faster than you. You saw those leap charges just absolutely obliterating that poor Mirana, and then he even has an arrow now to help stun.
Yep. He's a great demoralizer.
Oh, goodness. As you can see, the 15-minute mark, it was only 71%, but they have now moved up to a 88% win rate here. Win probability, rather.
Dota Buff believes, or Dota Plus, rather, believes. Tier 3 and Barracks were cleared out mid, so that's one lane down. What's the play for Alliance here, Trent? If there's one, that 10%, what is that 10% strategy?
Well, Wyvern is a pretty cool hero in terms of turning around your advantage on yourself, right? You got Winner's Curse. Maybe that will be the answer.
I like that.
However,
the problem with that is that Virtus.pro has to provide that opportunity.
And
he up for that.
Has no mobility items still on the Wyvern.
No blink,
these poor guys.
No Aether Lens, no real way to execute that. Alliance need to be a little careful here, Trent. They are very far out of the base, hunting with this smoke. All the while, VP are just pushing up to the high ground. There's double siege creeps here, and Ramses ready to put the pressure on. They force out the glyph way before this fight's even going to start. Another 5-hero defensive weave from Solo.
I love this weave, too. It lasts, it's like underrated, man.
Is it 24
seconds?
Yeah.
It is a long spell.
It has more than 50% uptime, only a 40-second cooldown. It's pretty ridiculous. They did a lot of good damage to this tower, though. They get it down to about a 1/3 HP. Moonlight Shadow, of course, there are sentries all over here. VP will not get caught off guard by this invisibility. Boxy in the front line, still so far away from that Aghanim Scepter. Actually finishes off the tower himself. Drops the deny.
Waveform charges.
3 buybacks available for Alliance. Right now, the Brewmaster and the Brood Mother are the 2 without it. Wukong's command from no one. They want to jump onto Boxy. They'll use a defensive cold embrace, but now they're just going to focus the barracks. Double RP off to the side, beautifully done by Pasha. Mirana in a lot of trouble, and Koikva will go down as well. Koikva lacking the buyback right now. 2 used by Alliance, but this could be the beginning of the end.
Run!
Barracks finished off down bottom. Insania falls. He'll buy back as well. They are going to grab that kill onto Roger, but some crippling damage done by Virtus.pro. 20k net worth favor. Alliance might be able to hang on here, but their outlook in this game feeling very grim.
Yeah, Pasha wants back in here, too. He's got Force and 3. Oh, that would have been a nice 2-man skewer.
Boundless Strike on 2.
Another weave.
Just makes him so damn beefy. Morphling's got 55 armor plus the weave. Pretty good.
Yeah, nice scouting there in that whole fight too. Like no one just. That's one great thing about Monkey King when you're so far ahead is that you just kind of hop on the high ground and you throw this ulti down, and it's so difficult to fight into it because you have all these ideas of how you counter like certain lineups and like the positioning that you need, and Monkey King just breaks that. He forces you out of that ulti. So what do you do then? You're all clumped up on this like awkward side point. That gave a really good opportunity for Pasha with the 2-man RP too, because they're all just squished over to the same area. And I thought Insania had that fight because he had a pretty good curse coming out to try and save it, but there was already just too much damage on the Mickey. Just like leapt and died. Has no defensive item really.
Ooh, almost initiation onto no one there as Boxy jumps in, but he's going to head back to friendly.
Arcane Rune Monkey King. How do you stop this guy?
You don't. You just wait for that thing to expire, I think. They're hunting.
Oh, they got him with the arrow.
Oh my god, he actually jumps into the arrow. He pops the BKB though. It's Monkey King versus the world. He does have a friend nearby in solo. And Alliance are actually going to Delta split and try to get the hell out of here. I don't know how well it's going to work though. Very spread out. No one in solo, still in the tree line. Taiga though, he might get caught here. Blink back.
He's the Yules too here.
Roger is in hot pursuit. They are going to grab Mickey on the back line. Meanwhile, Yule's Scepter onto the Tiny. He's just zoning out the rest of Alliance.
And he's going to chase. He's got Blink in 1.
Oh, nice blink from Boxy. Able to survive, but without the Mirana, this is going to be 90 seconds of 5v4 for the final hold. Wukong's command up in 20 seconds. RP also available. No glyph available for Alliance. This is going to be a difficult hold. Ramses is just so big at this point. He pops the BKB and says, boys, let's get the objectives. This game is ended. Bruce split on the back line, trying to isolate the Dazzle, but they just don't have any damage. BKB used by Koikla, but he's forced to just hide in the tree line. Cannot go blow for blow with this Monkey King. Disarm onto Ursa. Right now, VP are just running circles as the Wukong's command comes out. They're repelled back to the well. Megas have been secured, and it won't even be a hold as Boxy gets finished off. Alliance taking a moment here before the GG gets called as VP secures the series in Game 3, 41-26.
Yeah, you have to give a lot of credit to Alliance in terms of that game too. Like that was the Broodmother draft that they're looking for every time. Like the way that plays out, and they kind of checked off all their boxes, right? They're getting themselves that Aegis. They're using that to force the towers, force an early tier 3, and close out the game from there. Game 1 and Game 3 though, you